Okay, welcome to the maiden voyage of Tomachko's screencasting for Photoshop. This is a screencast for the portrait assignment. The first thing you may notice is that I'm doing this on a Macintosh. Well, Mac is better than PC, but everything I do works the same on the PC. It just may look different. So the first thing you're going to do is open your picture in Photoshop. The Photoshop you use is Photoshop CS4. I'm using Photoshop CS5. It's the same program, just a couple little differences that won't affect anything you do. Remember, your subjects for this assignment are one male from your class, one female from your class, and one person who is not a student in your class period photography. Okay, our first step is we're going to crop our picture. And we're going to set our crop tool, click on the crop tool, set the constraints to 11 by 8.5 with a resolution of 180. And that'll give you a box, a rectangle, that if you don't like its orientation, for example, this is a horizontally oriented rectangle, you can always change the size by clicking these arrows here and make it a vertically oriented rectangle for your crop. If you want to crop this much of your picture out, it'll be okay, but realize you're cutting off about 50 to 60% of your picture, so you're really lowering resolution. If you go any further, if you wanted to make your crop tool really small, like this, you would be really lowering the resolution of your picture, which would be bad. So if you want to do something like this, your best bet is to do this with the camera, shoot close, and then get your picture in Photoshop. So I'm going to X out of that. I'm going to go back to the horizontal rectangle, and I'm going to crop my picture. And I want to have a little more look space, a little extra space over here where his eyes are looking, and a little bit less space behind his ear. So I like the way that looks. I could either click the accept button or hit enter, and I've now cropped my picture. So now my picture is sized to 8.5 inches high by 11 inches wide with a resolution of 180 pixels. I'm then going to go to my Adjustments tab. If you can't see your Adjustments tab over here on the right, you can just click on the word Adjustments. This little tab should be here, and it'll pop up. If it's not there, you could go to the View menu and, the Window menu, and you can turn it on. It might just be turned off. But when the check mark is there, that means it's turned on. If I shut it off, it goes away. If I go back to my window menu and I click on the word Adjustments, it'll open it back up. You're going to click on the black and white Adjustment tab. And that is going to make a thing, an adjustment layer, that goes on top of your color picture that makes your picture look black and white. You then will move around the sliders of the picture to lighten or darken certain parts of your picture. Now let me just shut this off for a second to show you something. Notice that Idan is wearing a purplish kind of shirt here. So if I wanted to lighten his shirt, I can take the blue and magenta sliders and I can lighten or darken just his shirt, because it's the only thing in the picture that has those colors in it. So if I want to make the shirt stand out a little more, if it's maybe getting lost with the background, I can brighten it up a little bit. If I want to darken this shirt to make it less noticeable, I can darken it. And basically, you're going to move the red and yellow sliders around. I'm going to try to darken his lips up a little bit so I don't lose his lips in the face, but also lighten his skin tone because he's a little dark right there. Just to make the picture look its best. your goal is you want to brighten the bright areas like this area here and darken the dark areas like this area here without losing detail in your picture. If you move your sliders too far, you're going to get this weird pixelated washed out look to your picture, which you don't want. So experiment with your sliders, move them around until the picture looks its best. When you're done editing, you're going to click on the text tool and you're going to wait for the computer to think. You're going to set your font to Arial, which is the first one right here. The size doesn't matter. The color is going to be white. Click once and type your name. Okay, I typed my name correctly, so I'm going to click accept. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. I want to make my name larger, so I'm going to Control T, which gives me my transformation tool. Hold down Shift, and I'm going to resize my name to make it a little bit bigger. Accept the changes. And I want to put my name somewhere on the background of the picture, wherever it'll fit. So I'm going to take the Move tool. I'm going to move the name around. I could put it here, or I could put it down there, which actually doesn't look that bad. If you don't have a lot of space, like if I wanted to put it up here, I could always Control T, and I could change the way my name is oriented, and I could fit it up there too. But basically, find a spot to fit your name on the background, and then we're just going to lower the opacity of your type layer down to about 25%. Now, one other thing, if you're going to put your name on a light area, for example, like right here, it's kind of hard to see the name, you can always right-click on the text layer and go to your blending options, and you can add a drop shadow, which will help your name stand out from the background. But we don't need that because our name is going to be on a dark background. Okay. Once you've done that, you are finished editing, and you're going to save it as a JPEG. Make sure it's not a PSD. Make sure it's a JPEG. You're going to save it as last name, first name, Portrait 1. And you do that for Portrait 1, Portrait 2, and Portrait 3. That concludes our portrait editing demonstration for the maiden voyage of the screencasting. Enjoy!